That section you saw was played about a week ago. Now let's take a look at our characters and see what they might be like if we've played through the game a couple times. We're going to pick Bugs Boney, our Skeleton Knight. This is my Knight build. I have modified the character, but I actually modified him to nerf him. One of the bugs that I had in my early build of the game was, you see the rarity bonus on the left side of the screen? It says Endurance +3. Every time I would finish the level, it would increase. It would just add a +3 endurance or whatever gear I had on. So every time I would finish a map, I'd get an extra point of strain. I eventually had like 60 endurance, and it was pretty awesome, I'll admit. But I don't think it makes for a good showing you of what the game is like, because then I could just stand there and tank the hits. So I did modify it, but I did it to weaken my character. In the normal gameplay, you can't redo the levels. That was just something because they hadn't finished the other maps yet, and the game engine, the mechanics of it did save my progress and just let me play the first map over and over. That's why I have all this gear. This gear is really just stuff for building my stats, and I'll show you what that means, why I have that. Though I don't know if I would recommend it, because I do have all this stuff tying up my inventory. This is just for selling right here, all this extra stuff down here. Oh, these things are cool. Why did I keep this? There's a reason. Oh, maybe it's for my bonus? It's been a while. Book of Dispel. I remember that I had the Book of Experience mark the end of things I would hold on to. So this is probably to maintain set bonuses. And yeah, it looks like it. I have things such as Sage Bracers that are magical, so I don't need Sage Bracers here. But this is to complete my set if I wanted, say, an extra 6 points of Wisdom. Book of Curses and Book of Dispel is to remove any of the bad things that happen if you hang around in an area too long. I have 31 skill points because I'm level 60 and I haven't spent any points. You start with 1 at the beginning of the game and you get 2 every level thereafter. And every 5 levels you get to select a tree. Remember, do not save this choice. It doesn't retain that. So if you reach level 10 and you haven't picked anything here, too bad. You've essentially lost either 2 skill points or a skill tree. What I really like about this is these are actually not only inverted mirror-wise, but the color is the same. Here's what I refer to. Sword, it shares a page with ice. Axe shares a page with fire. Hammer shares a page with light. Spear shares a page with lightning. And bow shares a page with nature. That's really cool. I like that. If you are a bow user, I do actually recommend using nature. The other combinations don't really work all that well together. I think you say scythe. I'm not entirely sure. And dark can make the enemy run away from you. Scythe, you're gonna have to chase them down. I think there is a throw a boomerang option, but there's a cooldown at, I forget, something like 30 seconds. I have to check my notes. I have actually been making a spreadsheet of all the skills since the super early build of the game, and then every now and then I'd sit down and update my notes. It'll say, like, uses mana, and then has this much cooldown. Some of the early game abilities on the physical side used mana, not stamina. I've watched the game develop over time, and it actually has been a noticeable rate of improvement on the game since I first got my hands on it. That's always a good sign. I hope they continue to do that. I see so many early access titles not touch their product for like 3 months, years, or even. Alright, if you're a skeleton, I recommend you get fire. So we're going to go and select the tree. Now, that being said, you will need roughly 30 points in your intelligence, wisdom, and mind to ever make use of it. So realistically, you probably don't need fire until you have that much. But for the purpose of this video, I am showing you what's in the fire tree. But for your own knight, if you were to play a knight, I would just probably pick all of these. Or, better yet, take the points. Let's go and take the fire, and I'll show you why. So we can see here on the left side we have the fire tree, and on the right side we have the axe tree. One of the things about this game is you can go backwards. For example, I cannot get fiery rain yet, right? Because I haven't built to it. To get fire rain, you need either fireball or sparks. Don't worry about the stats themselves. I'm not those too bored. I need either fireball or sparks. However, there are other trees that we'll pretend that there is something in between, like right here, right between fireball and fire rain, okay? I could get sparks, fiery rain, and that mythical skill right in the middle. You don't actually have to climb upwards for every point in the tree. The reason why this is useful is I could get to warmth without going through all of these other spells. However, it doesn't actually save me that much work because you do get summon lava golem as an axe user, so it takes you 3 skills to get to warmth. Same thing from down here. If you're to start from the magic side, you get 3 skills. Does it save me on attribute points? No, because I would need 38 intelligence, 38 intelligence for sun, and then 22 mind and 18 wisdom for warmth at this build of the game. I've watched them fluctuate stuff. They would change certain things to say, like, some of these strength abilities might have said use mind, and they changed to say, oh, my bad, I meant for it to say endurance. It was probably copy and paste, and I found myself going through the same issues when I'm making my spreadsheet. I'd copy and paste a similar looking skill, or at least with the same thing, such as cost 23 stamina, and I'd forget to change one aspect of it. A couple times my spreadsheet would say Master of the Sword or something, when really I meant to rename it to Master of the Axe, which, by the way, Master of the Axe comes first, and then Expert of the Axe comes next. That would be a play tactic, is to work your way from the top of the tree to the other side. This isn't so useful for fire, but it is actually useful for bow. Somewhere around the edge, at the end of the nature spell tree, is the spell called Roots or Entanglement. I believe those Roots. And that sounds really good for a bow user. And so that'll be a nice pairing off, that you could just cast that and run away or shoot them with more arrows. But for an undead player, the only way you're going to cast a healing spell is Warmth. You may say, oh, just use the light spell. No, you can't. You will actually damage yourself, and the game will let you cast it. I do like that mechanic, actually. It's not that I dislike things that affect the player negatively. I dislike things that don't make sense. So your skeleton cleric casting heal and hurting himself makes sense. I dig it. All right, so I want to get X, which requires a strength of 10. I have a strength of 6, I think, with my ring of +1. By the way, stats can change over development of the game. The earlier version of the cleric I had, because their skills relied on more other attributes, their starting attributes were way different. Your new version of the cleric has a higher total stat growth, because in my spreadsheet I do tally up how many points they have allocated, because I'm trying to min-max, like, hey, if you start with this guy, you'll have an extra 10 points of attributes or something. I try to find stuff like that. But these are my nerfed base skeleton level 1 stats right here, with all of my skill points. So again, I modified it. He had 60 odd endurance just from wearing the boots over the mini courses of the game. I don't know if that bug is still in the game. They probably don't expect the player to play as much as I have. I've really played the early dungeon so many times. We'll say at least 10 times. No, how about 9? Well, at least 9. More than that, but at least 9. I can say that because you get a book of Dispel every time you defeat the boss, and I have not been defeating the boss every run. I would say the first 5-10 runs, I didn't even try the boss. And I get one of these, and I did use one of them. Maybe 2. Alright, so I want the Master of Axe. I'm going to equip these Boots of Strength and this Bow of Strength. You can also equip a Quiver, which will give you more attributes, but that's fine. You can even equip a weapon and a quiver. That's okay. Again, that's just for the attributes. Whoops, that did not like me putting the sword there. All right, drag this back up here. And now you notice I have 10 strength. I can actually get Master of Axe. Let's go and do that. And there we go. I became a Master of Axe by holding the bow. Put that on and put my boots back on. On another character, the Hunter actually, I have my gear sorted a different way. I was trying to figure out what way felt the best so I could advise you. This gear sorting method is sorted by item slot. So the weapons go up here, followed by helmets, then chest pieces, then leg pieces. But here's the thing, when I'm looking for a specific attribute, I don't actually care what body part it covers. And on an earlier take of this, I was trying to talk and ramble and stuff. I know ahead of time that the boots give me strength. Well, on my Hunter build, I have items organized by attribute, because that's really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, do I have boots that would add a certain, do I have boots that add stats? No, I want, do I have anything that adds strength? Anything that adds wisdom? Okay, I'm going to put all that on and see what I have then. So I would suggest that if you did keep items like this, just to figure out what your set bonuses and modifiers might be, organize them by the attribute if viable. You won't always have that option, because for example, right here, everything above the books are for set bonuses. And you can see here my Sage equipment will add Mind, Intelligence, Wisdom. So you might not be able to set it by that, but so far the items I have found realistically only have one attribute you can raise. You see Wooden Bracers, Rarity, Strength +3. Rarity works the following. If it's green, it adds +1. If it's blue, it adds +2. If it's purple, it adds +3. And then it picks one attribute. I can tell this because when I look at the game save file and I had to edit my attributes to be base level knight stuff rather than have 60 odd endurance, which was cool by the way. The equipment it has like a numeric to define what attribute it's raising. All right, and we're gonna leave the rest of the skill tree alone because I don't really want to mess with it right now. I would advise you though, if you're playing the game, just raise your skill points so that you can get. You can never jump over that, even if you're super fast. There's an invisible wall. I would raise your skill points necessary to get the next skill that you're looking for. That's the old Diablo style way of playing, was to raise your skill points to get to the next, or raise your attributes to get to the next skill spell that you wanted. I've been playing Power Word for a bit, and F is the open keys, or open chests and stuff, so I ran past it mashing the F key. Okay, in case I didn't mention it over on the Hunter playthrough, but these traps, I would assume, are set by a tile, so it's consistently safe to just hug the wall. Even if it doesn't look like it's good, it's consistently safe to do so. As I mentioned before, it's good to just run past enemies, but it's especially good if you have the axe like I do. Gotta get a few more friends. I don't want to lose him, so that's why I'm trying to zigzag a little bit to let him catch up. Alright, there's 3 friends. I lost the first one. That looks like a merchant room right there. Now, one of the bad things about that was me being stunned twice in a row. In fact, one of the bad things about using a heavy weapon is that you are very vulnerable to being stunned. Let's see if this really is a merchant room. Yeah, I can tell because of the way this inner wall is set up. As I said, I have played the dungeon so many times, so it comes with certain perks. I remember Anarchy Online. It creates randomly generated dungeons. Oh yeah, I had to pick up my own loot instead of it being automatically dropped for me. But I played Anarchy enough to recognize where the mission objective would be inside a randomly generated dungeon. It's not like a magical skill or anything. It's just you start to understand for a while how the maps are laid out. I would assume it's something probably similar to if you have a regular dungeon master in a tabletop game that you've been playing for 10 years. You kind of have a sense of how he sets up his runs or something. The game is not permadeath in the way that if I were to die, I can just restart the dungeon from the beginning. The only exception is if you go to the main menu after you die, I suppose. Then it just doesn't properly register. Now that might have just been a demo thing. I'll create a new character at the end of this session to see if it's still that. All it means is you just create your level 1 character again. And we can ignore this room. Although it looks dark, creepy, and scary, it's really nothing. Now there is an overhead swing, your heavy strike, and it's not really worth it. It's 56 damage for that, or 43 for damage for a side-to-side swing. The heavy overhead swing, while I can move my character around as it does that, it's just because it's got such a smaller, more narrower hitbox for an extra 10 damage at my current stats. Not worth it. And if I were a higher level, I would imagine even less worth it, because then I could spam the attacks. The better your weight... Oh wow, I'm really very heavy. Now that I've lowered my endurance. I used to be medium. But yeah, the heavier your weight, the slower your swings. So this is probably very, very heavy swings. Let's try. Let's go ahead and... Let's drop this stuff. Everything after the book is stuff I don't really care about. This is for set bonuses. Oh, I am carrying the Blood Fang, which is something I got very recently. I was actually left that slot alone because it's weight 30. This stone, which adds defense, is weight 150. That's preposterous. Now, let's go ahead and unequip my stuff. So this is the demo breastplate before they changed it. I call it demo, but again, that was the early demo. The current demo now adds antique. So when I say demo, that just means like early build. Alright, so if I lower that, I'm now medium swinging. He swings faster. I don't know if it's easy for you to tell, but that is faster. And my running is also faster. That is a fountain which can heal you. Let's go and toss some in. I've never actually tossed in money as a skeleton because I just assumed it would hurt, but let's try. Alright, it did not hurt, so I assume it would also heal a skeleton. If I remember right, during the demo when I was using it, it cost 30 moons per cast. Oh, this is the room I'm looking for. Armor back on. Let's get it on. Okay, that's how slow I walk. This is how slow I swing normally. This is the boss room. One of the reasons why I'm using Axe, actually, is so that I can put points into endurance and not feel bad about it. To level up your Axe skills, you need strength and endurance. Strength, I could give or take that. It's not that big a deal for me, but endurance, I like endurance. So let's go and just mash in points into this. Because I feel bad about spending points that maybe I just need, say, a little bit of extra intelligence. I would need to add 5 points in intelligence to learn the Spark spell. So yeah, endurance is great. And that feels so much better now that I'm not... Oh, the door's not even over here. Alright. Here's the door. Oh, this is not the room. Oh, sorry. I got sidetracked when I was talking. This is the room I'm looking for right there. The one with the rocky wall. I need to find my way to a door. Is it another exit on this side? Now, when you do summon a boss, a force field appears and you cannot exit, but enemies who are still chasing you can enter, or if they hear or see you while you're fighting. To summon a boss, just start opening sarcophagi. You can even summon zombies too. Like that one's gonna be a zombie. There we go. There's the boss. I'm gonna go and open them all. Actually, no, we're not gonna bother, because eventually I'm gonna run out of stamina. So this is essentially got combat. One of the things I don't like about the way the combat is in this game is you can't move while you're swinging. I understand, it's to make you commit to a choice, but I feel like combat in that way is just much clunkier. Alright, so the reason why I left those other sarcophagi, you can see I've done this for a while, is just so that way I had something to do while my stamina is recovering. I'm actually blocked by that. That's not just an animation or decal. That's actually there. You can even run up objects if the lid places just right. Alright, I'm gonna drink a potion real quick. I'm not sure how these guys get poisoned. They may have run past the sarcophagi or something. Yeah, enemy undead do get damaged by poison, but player undead will not. I can stand on this all day long. Pick up these items: Leafy Bracers, Book of Dispel, and another Blood Fang, which is exactly the same Blood Fang I have. Right there. The Leafy Bracers are new, and I will probably have to sit down and see if I need anything for lower arm protection, dexterity. I also have it categorized by the order of attribute here, so we have Strength, Constitution, so I can see already that I don't have one for dexterity. And of course, that's not something I'm going to worry you about. Bow damage +6, that sounds pretty cool. We'll hold on to that as well. I'll put that next to the shield later. And these I can just sell. Not worried about any of that. As you can see, I don't have a lot of inventory space. Even these non-magical items are there to give me a set bonus if I needed, say, an extra 6 strength. I have that. Alright, now we need to get out of here. And the exit is, let's see, it should be to the south, if I remember correctly. I saw it just as I was... That's why I started veering to the left. He's like, wait, there's something above me. And this will descend, and we can go into the next stage. Let's see how far our knight can go on one try. So this is the area with the giant golems. Did my stats go up? I think so. Yeah, I should have only had 6 base strength plus 1 from the ring. If I take off this ring, I now have 7 base strength. so that is still a bug in the game, or it's a reward. I don't know which, but since that was the first level, I don't feel bad about modifying my character to nerf him. I'm just so powerful that I have to weaken myself. This is a trap our hunter did not get the experience. It looks like it only has chests. I don't think that's anything there at the end, but we can check it out. Can I hug the wall on this one? Yeah. It doesn't look like it's anything. Love the camera angles. Can I hug the wall on this one? Nope. But my armor pretty much shrugged off most of it. I didn't check to see if I get the same amount of experience on every creature and for every level. For example, that monster gave me about 273 experience. If I killed him at level 1, would he be worth more experience? I don't know. That's the reason why I'm holding on to my experience book. In case it is scaled to your level, the enemy kills. So this is the level, this is the elevator that I didn't quite know how to activate. How do I roll again as a control? Okay, it's just tap. That's what I did earlier, but it wasn't doing it. Alright, now I remember. This game did have problems with moving from sprint to roll. I was late. So this may not have a lever. It may just be you have to kill the boss or something. I'm again immune to poison, so this guy shouldn't be much of a threat to me. It's one of the amazing perks of being a skeleton. Does fire hurt? Nope. Oh no, it does. It's, you can see burn on the bottom left. Oh, that's cool. I did not actually expect to see a sky at all. I loot these. I remember being on loot tables or something. The play session between the hunter and this run right now is at least a week apart. The embargo ended on the 12th, but I worry about time zone conversions and if I would have gotten it wrong. Because time zone conversions, depending on which way you go, can be give or take hours, right? I think what that meant is it said the time limit it had said that I could release at 7 a.m. my time on the 12th. But again, I'm not 100% sure about that. He has made himself stone. We'll just make sure to scroll ourselves up to that. And you know what? I get strength potions. Do I have stamina potions? No, I don't think so. There's water. I don't think it does anything. Maybe if I weren't a skeleton. So I just end up standing around for a little bit. Now, I know I'm doing all this with a knight, but that's because I played the game so much that I feel comfortable with it. For your first victory, I do strongly encourage you to do a hunter. Why are you not picking up? I'm hitting, oh, full inventory. Scroll back down. 18. It weighs not that much more, so we could go expert of hammer if I wanted. Let's see how it swings. Why won't you equip it? Yeah, because my inventory is full, that's why. Even though it should take that spot. This is the exact same swinging animation. So maybe we do want to switch to that just because it has better damage. Let's... So that... Okay. Toss these. Let's see what the boss has as loot before I start putting points on anything. Sell that, or drop that. Sell this, okay. And skill tree. Well, I did spend 6 skill tree on axe already. Maybe we'll commit to it. But let's see what the... Oh, I don't even have hammer. I won't have hammer till 20. Alright, so we'll continue to use the axe for now, but we'll keep hammer in mind for the future. Unfortunately, there's no real damage value here. Yes, it has P attack, but I don't think that actually has to do with my actual attack value. It might. Maybe it was going up when I was hitting getting Master of Axe, but I don't think it was. I'll check in the footage and let you know via captions, as I normally do. Captions are generally my thoughts after or while editing, after I finished my gameplay session. Looks like a golem has detected me. Sometimes the sound freaks out that way. Generally when there's many sound sources. Unfortunately I have to scroll, so I'm backing up to do that. Oh, this is good. I like having multiple enemies, because then I can hit more people per axe swing. It's just, the stun is killer. Toss all that. Yeah, I'm just putting everything I have into endurance for now. This probably means that I will never ever get other skills unless I happen to find a bunch of strength bearing items. This will be my second time in this map. I don't even know if they have a merchant. Oh, I see one on the map now. Move to comment over. Ah. Look at experience. Sure, 500 bucks. Scarlet. I wanted to see if I had a dexterity plus 3 item on me. We'll take that strength necklace. I'm pretty sure that I have nothing comparable to that. Yeah. As for dexterity plus 3 leggings, I have dexterity plus 1 legging. So yeah, we'll swap that out. There we go. We'll sell off these. I guess we'll go and sell... Yeah, that's bad. The odds of me not finding a hammer by the time I'm level 20, assuming I then have the skill points and skill tree necessary for that, I would just save 18, 19, and 20 skill level, like not spend anything in endurance for the next 3 levels, and then get the skill tree for hammer if I wanted to do that, which is viable. Alright, then we'll go ahead and buy this, on the off chance I want to level him up in dexterity. I did that way. I'm probably going to get cursed, but that's what the curse books are for. But you may feel that, hey, you just get the curse and then you can spend as long as you want on the floor. Nope. You will actually just go on and get to more curses. Now, I suppose if you wanted to wait until you get like 7 curses, sure, but by then you're heavily gimped. And if you're spending that long on a floor, you're either the most pro player to ever try farming a floor, which has limited resources, by the way, or you aren't doing that well, and the curses are just going to make you even weaker. Alright, the floor is not lit up, so it must be somewhere in this room that... What's that? It looks like someone died. Oh wait, it's an idol. Oh, maybe it just never needed a light up. Old castle. That was a very awkward falling animation. This will be my first time in this area. Let's hope it works better than my time as a hunter in her first time in the previous map. But that was just a basic hunter, and this is my high-level knight. If we take a look at my strength, it is now up to 19. Thanks for the Necklace of Magic. I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to try to refigure out how to edit my character again. Because none of it's labeled, obviously, since you're not supposed to be doing that. But I nerfed him on purpose to restore him in line with what a knight's actual stats were. But the game's just going to keep doing it, and we'll just let it ride. Okay, I was not actually expecting to fight the boss this fast. I'm hurting him psychologically. Yeah, I have enough potions that take pretty much anything, I would assume. Playing a level 20 odd times, 10 to 20 odd times will do that to you. You always play... Oh, there's something. Yeah, you always play illiterate characters in video games, because there's always going to be so many bookshelves. I don't know why you stopped attacking. Oh, because you open your inventory and left-clicking in the middle window no longer attacks. He'll attack as long as you have the button held down. Whoops, I drank a mana potion, but that's okay. It's not like I'm really gonna need those. I almost died because I was busy yapping. Am I standing in the fire, or is it just his fire attack? Skull. Let's see what it is. Increases defense against dark magic. Lame. Oh, I should have used my scroll. Well, he wasn't casting light, so it's okay. And as a skeleton, I can't really eat anything. I'm right-clicking and nothing happens. He drops blood. I don't think he should have blood. Either that or that was already on the floor. I have a pretty good idea where all my potions are. Looks like heck in my inventory, but I have spent a lot of time organizing it for a reason. So the question is, do I want to save my level up for the hammer skill points or just keep putting things in endurance? I will tell you that even at 60 odd endurance, I was still at medium. I think it was 65. So it didn't lower me by another weight class, and I don't think going by margin improvements is going to change my character. I don't believe that anything other than changing the label will make a difference. So even if it's 10 points, if I'm still medium, having 60 or 50 endurance is the same. See, I drank that. I had 8 strength when I started this level. I'm curious if using the strength potion would allow me to get level ups, or get skill ups. So I'm now level 19 just from smashing all those guys to pieces. Yeah, I could probably... Okay, well, that's sword. Okay, the game feels that I have enough strength for this, so yeah, drinking a potion is just as good for leveling up. I like that. I would say that chances are, not that I know anything about the developers, but most games don't really allow temporary stat effects like that to get you skill ups. Equipment, sure. Potions, probably not. I'm gonna go and drink a potion now, just so I can kill these guys. I could just run down the stairs, assuming it is next level, but I'd rather have the experience. Boots of greatness, so you say. Wait for my stamina. Can't even see what it does. Mind +4, wisdom +7, intelligence +10. Unfortunately, there is no currently a stash location or a home base. It's you run the dungeon until you die. Shark teeth. It's daggers. I'm assuming that's stairs down, but I would like to see if there is a merchant on this floor that I can sell my only 2 inventory slots worth of gear for. This does radiant, so it'll heal living beings, but damage me. It'll probably damage him too if I lured a bunch of skeletons in here. But assuming it's like other traps in the game, I won't get an experience. If I were to kill these guys on the spinning blades, there's no experience for you. It's like a Knuckles type weapon. I wonder if they've added those in the game yet, the skill tree for them. Hopefully the merchant does not take offense to this. Down to the wire. I'll drink one just in case I get hit by a trap or something. Keep trying to open my inventory. Wow, that is nice. Same physical attack. I'm gonna assume that there's gonna be an axe very similar to this level of strength caliber. Ours is greatness, so we could start bolstering our stuff up greatness wise, but we'll wait. But I'm not gonna worry about that while I'm on camera. We'll go and sell him my items though, just the paltry couple items we have. There we go. And I might get cursed before we leave, and if I do, that's content because you haven't seen how I deal with the curse yet. You know I use the book, but you know, not much more than that. Now we can make our way to the exit as I get shot by traps. If I want to get to the exit, I just need to go back areas I've explored, really, but I do kind of want to travel a little bit off the beaten path to get more loot and experience. Since I'm already going to get cursed, I might as well use that extra time for building up my character more. A giant doom sound effect will play, just to give you a heads up. I don't want to scare anybody. And as far as I know, it's still going to persist even if I go to the next area. If I were to loop the same map, as if the game had no more maps to continue and it looped me back, I still have the curse. But I'll show you. Wow, they have added a lot of content in the last week. We're back at the Catacombs. So what we do is we just read this book, and the curse is gone. Let me just check to make sure that this is the exact same area. Would it crush under me? Yeah. Curse begins. Randomized curse. Similar looking floor layout. Looks like nothing special. So yeah, the game would just continue and I would loop and I'd continue slowly accruing massive stat bonuses. I mean, maybe they don't play test it enough to, like, they just play test individual maps, but it would be hard to miss, wouldn't it? It's not like you get passive skill up. So if I wanted to grow my mana, I would just equip these for a while, and then after a while I'd have intelligence, wisdom in mind. But that is the current available content in Dispel. I don't know if more maps are planned. I'm not sure what all else is in the agenda, but since this was the embargo is up, I'm assuming they feel that this is now in a comfortable place. I will release another video on current skill stats, because otherwise you're gonna have to, and it takes a long time, believe me. It takes a long time to create every character to find out what all the stats are and then hold it up for any sort of comparison. I'll release another video very soon on the current build skill descriptions. Things can change. For example, in the earliest versions I had, stuff like disarm cost mana, not stamina. There were a lot of these attacks required intelligence and wisdom, and some spells cost more of the physical attributes such as constitution or constitution or endurance. They still cost some, but not as much as it used to. So I'll include that in a future episode. What I really like to see is them work on the action battle mechanics. Thank you very much for watching Tran Plays Dispel. You can find this link to the Steam store page in the description below. I'll see you next time.